Good Sunday morning. I realize it's early, and if you're in church, good on you. That's where we should all be. Um, hey, Puss in Boots, Sweet Wheat. I haven't seen you around in a while. Thank you, next. Bluebird on my shoulder. I missed a couple people in my live stream the other day, and I felt bad about it. I almost did a community post and said, "Sorry, I missed you. Hey, Lindsay Lee." Um, like I said, I know it's early. Originally, I had it planned for you. I'm an early bird. I go to bed early. I get up early. That's what old people do, or that's what this old person does. Hey, Jamie Lynn. So, hey, Ninja Orchid. Man, Ninja, has the flooding not lightened up any over there? I hope so. So, I'm just going to ask you, and I want you guys to be honest with me. How many times in our little corner of YouTube have we called out domestic violence, racism, fake fuckery? Hey, Dog Mom, Captain Avi, Snake. So, just a little, I'm just going to leave a little background for people who don't know. I have been watching this low-cal universe shit with Keemstar, okay? And I've actually been watching it for a very long time. Back when it was just two washed up YouTubers, Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and then the evil mastermind, Keemstar. And I don't care what you say about the man, he's a financial evil genius. Oh, yesterday was beyond horrible. And I told you all a week or so ago, the one that was going to snap first was going to be Wings of Redemption because he can't handle the fact that it's scripted. And you can always tell when something silly is going. Well, here's the thing, it's scripted until it's not, until it goes off the rails. And usually that's Keemstar's favorite part of it is when it goes off the rails. Well, yesterday it went so far off the rails because it involved Keemstar getting called out for being a fraud. And it was Wings of Redemption. And I told you all a week or two ago, it would be Wings that lost his shit. Because you can tell that every time some bullshit script is being played out, and I'm sorry, anytime you bring Michael Green on board, it's scripted. Mike made a fortune off of Angry Grandpa. Why? Because angry old men are funny. They grew up very poor and very dysfunctional. So when they realized that you could make money, oh no, Captain Obvious, you don't have to watch. Believe me, the clips are out there. Okay. First, let's start with the fact anybody with any common decency, have you ever rented an Airbnb or a hotel room, property belonging to somewhere else, where you allowed a woman to walk around with a ball bat, Tina Dandridge, she thinks she's so famous, she's such a badass. Hitting furniture, uh, several chairs have been broken. If you look at the media room, because there's an indoor theater in this place, well, we'll get to when Savage arrived too. I had done turned it off way before then, but I knew she was coming in and I knew how it would play out. And I said this days ago, Savage is going to get there. She's going to get lit and she's going to be hanging all over Nightmare, which I don't know Nightmare's real name. I know he's from Wales or England or something. I don't know. He's not from this country. But Savage hasn't quit talking about Nightmare since she first saw him. Hello, Misty. Now, keep in mind, this is a religious retreat. And because the place was doxed, I went in and I went to the place, Airbnb, and I punched in 14-day stay. Over $36,000 is what it costs to rent that place for 14 days. So I can only imagine the damage deposit you had to put down. Oh, Jamie Lynn, let me tell you something. You watch it because you're you're a real human being, and as human beings, we have an instinct to not being able to turn away from something that is so mentally distorted. Boogie even went so far. Now, let's just, yeah, right. Let's just go back a little bit. Okay. So, if you'll remember a couple months ago, the whole, now remember, Keemstar has made his name on YouTube, as has Xylee Gets Real, which I've found out there's nothing real about Xylee at all. But calling out pedophiles and shit. Okay. So it comes out a month or so ago that Mike, at 21 years old, hooked up with his. Now, this has been out there. But at 21, Mike hooked up with Bridget, which was 15. And of course, all of Keemstar's trolls, all of Wings's trolls, all of everybody's trolls starts coming at Keemstar. You support a PDF. You support this. You support that. You're allowing Mike to be a part of all of this. So now Mike put all of this out here himself. He literally made a video about how he got oral sex from his 15-year-old girlfriend when he was 22 years old. So Keemstar has to try to fix it as best he can. So the script was that everybody, Savage, who has tried to call out PDFs, she'll never be allowed to do it again. No, that was actually his clippers. Thank you. Next. That was his hair clippers. Everybody tried to say that Wings had a Glock case in his hand. No, that was his hair clippers. Um, some people, no, it was truly his hair clipper case. So Keemstar had to fix this because he's getting called out because he spent part of his career on YouTube calling out PDFs, and now he's got Mike Green working for him. I thought it was all kind of fucking ridiculous myself. But so the script was people like Savage, Becky Boop, Tina Dandridge, who is nothing without Mike Green. The only place that, no, she actually left to get that wig, but we'll get to that too. But the only reason that Tina Dandridge has a name on YouTube is because she happened to be the neighbor of Angry Grandpa, and they got into an argument. Mike filmed it. Boom. Angry Tina, who is walking around with a ball bat claiming she's a badass, busting up rented someone's property. Johnson, you're going to get a little shout out in here too. Because do I think it's right that anybody comes at you for deets donating? No, I don't. I mean, you don't have any control over deets and I don't have a problem with deets. I like deets. Uh, I don't think anybody should go to Joneson because they, Deets super chatted, but it's what Deets super chatted. It's what Deets was supporting with her 1999. It wasn't a call out that what they were doing was totally disgusting. Hey, Roro. Because remember, hey Brantley, remember, I we're a community of people that have called out abuse. And I don't care what anybody says. And I said it the other day. If Becky goes back, then she gets what she gets. But for Keemstar to hold money over her head, and for people that have called this kind of shit, I don't ever want to hear Deets call out abuse ever again. Ever. Ever. I don't want to hear people call out domestic violence ever again after what went down on that show in the last 2 days. You know what? Thank you. Next. They are the actual bottom of YouTube. Exactly, Jamie. But let me tell you what, if you go back and you follow this, what has happened is Keemstar knows that Becky truly is a locale. And Keemstar knows that Becky brings in the money. So what he has done is he's made Becky play this role as this bad girl. She starts all the trouble. She's the one that, she does this, she does that. And Becky's gone along with it because, you, you know, I started. Okay, but I agree, Long Island Girl. It is Wings' fault that he shoved his wife. I totally agree. But here's the problem with that, Long Island Girl. After Wings shoves his wife, they sit and blame it on Becky. Why does it change things? So okay, Joneson, so therefore you don't think that in a domestic situation that a woman who continues to go back for whatever reason, then you think it's her fault. Okay? Is that what you're telling me? Because a woman who can't support herself, because a woman who, for whatever reason, for financial reasons, can't walk away from the abuse. So it's the woman's fault, right? Is that what you're telling me, Johnson? Because that's the way it's sounding here. I worked at a job where I made really good money. And I was shocked I made this kind of money because of the location. But after taxes, 401k, insurance, everything came out of my paycheck. I brought home a little over $2,000 a week. To me, that's good money. But you know what? The management was hell bent on trying to humiliate me on a daily fucking basis. You know what I did? I walked away. I walked away. I'm not comparing two different communities, Long Island girl. I'm talking about the LCU and the fact that we have people in this community that have done 50 videos or more on the fact that Laura said Atlanta is too dark. Okay. Welcomed abuse. Okay. So Jones's going to sit here and try to lead you to believe that it's all scripted. I didn't know I took your wrench. I'd never taken a wrench away. I don't know who took your wrench, but I don't know how to do it midstream anyways, Bad Wolf. Remember that when a story comes up of a woman being abused, but she couldn't walk away because of financial reasons. Long Island Girl, it is scripted. That's what pissed Keemstar off so bad yesterday. That's what pissed Keemstar off so bad yesterday, as Wings had finally had it. And I knew Wings would be the one that would finally blow the top on this. It was leaked that Becky was at Fat Camp. Tina leaked it. Roxy leaked it. So when it came out of Wings's mouth is when it really got under Keemstar's skin. And that's what I'm saying. For the most part, it is scripted. It's when it goes off the script that it becomes downright abusive. And to see people who have done videos of Laura being abusive because she put a fucking lock on her refrigerator, super chat and support a woman getting her head shaved because she so badly needs that money. She so badly needs to be attached to Keemstar's name. I'm sorry to hear that about your mother, Johnson. Of course, you see it differently, Johnson. You're seeing what Keemstar has put out there. For them to sit and blame Becky for Wings's behavior yesterday. Here's a good thing. Here's what really pissed me off more than anything. Okay, Becky got her head shaved. Whatever, it's her head. She went back for it. Keemstar, Becky asked before they ever took those clippers out. Now keep in mind, Keemstar is the one that allowed them to perpetuate that Becky SA was a lie because, nobody was in that bedroom with Becky or RTU. But let's go ahead and perpetuate the fact that Becky lied about it, because, that's what we do nowadays. We pick and choose who really was assaulted and who wasn't. Okay, I understand that. Let's also not forget that Keemstar Toad Wings to yes, and these people do it. Keemstar tells somebody to quit taking their medication, and they do it. What is wrong with people? What is so fucking fascinating about fucking Daniel King? It's fascinating to watch. I get it. I'm not blaming anybody for watching. It's the fact that people do it. And then we have people who have called this kind of shit out in the past, throwing, don't get me wrong, I've super chatted twice, both times it caught Keemstar's attention. Both times. First time, he got so pissed off, he started going on this big long rant. This Jaffe dude, I made one comment about him. One comment. One comment. I said, "Why are you such a creep?" He did a half a fucking show on me. Keem is a sadist. But hey, let's go throw him 1999 so he'll continue to be sadistic. And here's the funny part. Keem was so proud of Becky for actually allowing her head to be shaved that he actually admired Becky for it. He actually admired her for it. But he just couldn't put a stop to the rest of the shit that he promised he would. Now, he can't control what trolls say, what people in the crowd say. He can't control that. But what he can control is what his other people say and do. What the people that get a 1099 underneath him is what he could control. And what he should have done is stopped before those clippers ever hit Becky's fucking head, and either made the decision, because he knows Becky brings in the money. He knows Becky brings in the money. Keemstar, he may not be able to read, but he can do fucking math. And as a real true man, what he should have done before those clippers ever touched her fucking head would have been, "No, Becky, I can't let you do this." Because they live in a world over there where Keemstar can hand out punishments. Cover yourself in mayonnaise, eat a whipped cream pie, clown shit. No big deal. No big deal. You want to sit and dump condiments on your head to make a buck? It is what it is. It's not a big deal. Who are all these people who gave money but also made videos on Laura's CPS? Say their names. I don't know. I haven't even brought up CPS, so I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody take them out. I don't even know who that is. Obviously, they don't have the balls to come in here under their real account. So if you have a wrench, take them out. I don't know what you're talking about. We're talking about financial abuse. And you come in here with that shit. What are you doing? Obviously, you made a hoe account about Laura's CPS call. If people want to call out Laura's CPS call, nothing has stopped them. Thank you, Puss in Boots. But the people that sit in here and, you know, Brittany J must be on drugs because she keeps nodding off, but support that shit. The people who, it's just bizarre to me. Right. CPS wasn't even a thing. Okeem was ready to fold it all up yesterday after he got busted out by his number two. Well, Wings probably fell in right at number three because Boogie is his right hand man, his biggest ass kisser. Boogie even admitted he would suck Keem's weenie on a live stream. I'm surprised Keem didn't make him do it. Hello, Texas girl. No, Ashley, it's not worth it to most people, which is why I said when Becky went out on her own, I was willing to help support her channel. But then she went back. And so I said, well, you kind of deserve whatever you get. Never dreaming. But Keem has, even though Becky is his money draw, and it pisses these bitches off so bad. People like Savage, Roxy, they're so xyly because they have no personalities. Unless Savage is drunk and rubbing her tits, she doesn't get any money. Unless Roxy is running around being a pick me girl, you know, literally, this is what went down. Okay, so Keemstar has these jackets that you can buy in his store. I don't know the name of the store, therefore I'm not going to promote it. If you want one, I'm sure you can get the link to it somewhere. To me, they're ugly. I don't like printed shit like that. But so Becky shows up at camp. Okay, everybody knew she was going to show up. King can sit there. Michael Green can sit there. That's why it all blew up yesterday with Wings. It's because Wings finally said he let something slip, which had already been told days before. Psycho Mom is beyond boring. The only thing Psycho Mom does is stand in front of the camera and flex her fake tits. But whatever, I mean, if people want to throw money towards that, who cares? Who cares? Keem will never marry anyone. He's made that very clear. He said it the other day when it came up about him and Brantley getting married. Um, that he doesn't believe in a legal binding contract. He believes more in the spiritual realm of marriage. Why is that? Because spiritually, Keem's girlfriend, fiance. Now imagine having a man propose to you, but say, I'm never going to legally marry you, but I'll marry you just in the eyes of the Lord. But Keem ain't stupid. He ain't never parting with none of his money. You're going to marry Keem? Well, good luck, because he won't marry Brantley. And Brantley's okay with that. So, whatever. To each their own. It's the fact that there is so much abuse going on in that community, and people are just overlooking it. You got Flava. Let's take Flava, for instance, who's also covering that community, who also supports that community with their money, who had a total meltdown when crazy Michelle Sabate called her the N word. Now, very justifiable. A justifiable meltdown, Flava. You had every right to be upset, but you can never mention it again. Hey, Kathy Rebuilds, because you're supporting a man who screamed the N word repeatedly and had his trolls go and troll a black man with the N word. You are supporting a show that has Tina Dandridge on it, that when asked about her political views about Trump and Kamala, the only thing she could come up with is she didn't like Kamala because she's a black bitch. So anything ever said racist again, Flava, you can't call it out because you're going to look like a big old dummy. And everybody's like, oh, Tina can't be racist. She has a biracial son. Get the fuck out of here. Racism is ignorance. That's what it is. It's ignorance. And if you think the thing that made Kamala less, now don't get me wrong, I'm not a Kamala Harris fan, but I'm not a Kamala Harris fan based on her political uh, stances. But if the only thing you can come up with when asked an intelligent question about Trump and Kamala is you don't like her because she's a black bitch, you're very unintelligent. Why don't you rub your boobs? I do every night. I rub them to pick them up off my gut, Bad Wolf. Every time I lay down and they flop to the side, I rub them to push them back over in the middle where they belong. So yesterday, okay, so you had the whole shaving of Becky's head, and in my opinion, the thing to do was if Becky was going to allow that to happen, at that point, the people of the LCU should have laid off of her. Okay. I don't blame you, Lasso. I don't blame you. But at that point, the people should have laid off of her. And it takes Keemstar to step in and say, guys, she proved her dedication to me. She shaved her head to be a part of us. Yes, Savage showed up late last night. She didn't show up. They paid her way to come there. And that's what pissed Wings off. Is because number one, I don't think Wings likes Becky at all. I think really, truly, he does not like Becky. It is not an act. He does not like her. Wings' wife, Kelly, the one that got body slammed on the table hard, is just fucking weird when it comes to Becky. I mean, does Kelly really think that anybody wants Wings other than her? He's a almost 400 pound, and I'm not saying that fat people don't deserve to be loved. Of course they do. But he's a almost 400 pound man who's a washed up gamer who's had trolls affect their real life because he doesn't go out and get a real job. Becky's after money. She ain't after your man, Kelly. So Roxy being the okay, so Becky Becky shows up. It's all scripted. They paid her way there. Everybody knew she was there. It Yeah, that's the only thing he's known for. Perplexed is gaming. I mean, he had a very large gaming channel, but people got mad, got tired of watching him lose and explode and break controllers and just act a total fool. So Becky is paid to come there, is paid to take a punishment. I mean, they made over $11,000. You can look on Social Blade and see what they made. People who stand against abuse, people who stand against all this shit are super chatting. Either do it or lose your job. Yeah, way to go, Deets. Way to go. Tell a woman that it's normal for a boss to be able to manipulate you into shaving your head in order to keep your job. Way to go, Deets. You get a big shout out for that one. But it's not Jones's fault. Well, let me tell you something, Bad Wolf. I would put a stream house of the drama community up against the LCU any day. That's how fucking mentally stunted these people are in that group. So Becky gets her head shaved before the Clippers ever. I mean, Wings ain't had a hard on in years, according to him, but he got a little aroused shaving Becky's head. What's that tell you? So she gets her head shaved, yay. You know, the crowd continues to throw hate donos. King continues to collect money. Becky continues to be made a total fool out of. But before the Clippers ever touched her head, go back and watch. Becky says, okay, King, does this make everything right? Does this mean it'll all stop? Meaning the fact that people like Keem continued to perpetuate the whole fake sexual abuse arc when Keem could have shut that down. And he finally did. He finally did. No, 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 Johnson. No, I'm not asking you. I'm not saying that you should believe it's all scripted except for it is scripted. Savage, every time she flips her screen, if you if go back and watch yesterday when Wings called it out for being scripted and Keem lost his shit. And the funny thing is Keem always sits there and cries. He always pouts. Yeah, I guess I'm the bad guy. It's all Keemstar's fault. Well, you kind of run the show, Keemstar. You kind of run it. People tend to listen to you. I mean, their ass puckers when you come into their show. So you could have shut it all down, but you chose to continue to let the fake um, sexual abuse continue because it was bringing in hate donos. I'm telling you, the man is an evil fucking genius. Misty. So I'm thinking, okay, Becky's going to be foolish enough to be so wrapped up in the money and being under the Keemstar name that she allowed her head to be shaved. But at that point, good morning, He-Man. But at that point, I thought Keemstar would be man enough to shut down the Becky hate within the group. I thought at that point, Keemstar, who was totally just in narcissistic fucking heaven, that a woman would shave her head to be a part of his conglomerate. I really thought, okay, Keemstar's going to do the right thing and he's going to tell people, okay, guys, Becky showed how much she wants to be a part of this. You know, she shaved her head. 99.9% of women in the world would not do that for a couple $1,000s a month, but she did it. Her head shaving is on her because she could have walked away. But I really thought, okay, he's going to do the right thing and he's going to shut down all of this Becky hate. Not only did he not shut it down, he continued to perpetuate it. So the next morning, while Becky is sitting in the that night she showed up, she just shows up in a gated community with a code on the gate. It's already been leaked that one of the mods went and picked her up at the airport. What really pissed Keemstar off is when Wings leaked that they paid for it. That they actually paid for Becky's plane ticket. Yes, go get her. So that night, Kelly, who is just a freakazoid in her own self, which is Wings's wife, she's not even part of the show. She steals Becky's LCU jacket, you know, one of the ones that you can buy in his store if you want to. I don't know. They're like $100 plus you pay to get your name at it. This jacket's got Becky's fucking name on it. She steals this jacket. Okay, it's all fun and games. She stole Becky's jacket. No big deal. Roxy, the next morning, because she's a little pick me. I have no talent. So watch me. And she even says, Mike, do you have the camera on? She proceeds to take the jacket that Kelly stole. Yeah, I didn't think you did, Jones. And I would spend $100 on a good looking hoodie. I mean, if it but it's just not my taste, you know. Number one, I'm not big on polyester, but whatever. So, Roxy, Kelly steals the hoodie. Roxy tells Kelly, "Give it to me. I'm gonna throw it in the lake." So Becky's hoodie gets thrown in the lake. Now here, Kelly has already stolen property. Roxy being a pick me, Mike, turn the camera on. Watch this. And you know, kid behind the camera, that motherfucker would video anything. I mean, that's how he's made his money. Yes, Roxy definitely Roxy's always inserting herself in situations. Oh, she absolutely did deserve Becky jumping on her back. She absolutely deserved it. Because let me tell you something, Joneson. If somebody gets in and steals my property, Roxy can't rock. Jones, and I can't believe you think that, but whatever. So Becky gets her property stolen. So Becky proceeds to pick up a suitcase, an empty suitcase, and throws it in the lake. So Roxy takes off running to take more of Becky's property. And according to the story, because you don't really see the whole fight, it cuts away. Somebody starts yelling, Keem, they're fighting, they're fighting. You know what Keem does? He grabs a fucking water hose. I guess he figured out real quick, I probably shouldn't soak them with the water hose inside of a rented property. But the story is Becky jumped on Roxy's back. Well, if you're in my personal belongings and you think you're going to throw that shit in a fucking funky ass, snake ridden Texas fucking lake, I'm going to jump on you too. It was kind of funny to watch Keemstar grab the hose like he was going to spray him like two dogs stuck together. It was kind of funny. So the rule has been any hands thrown, you got to go. You got to leave. You know, any physical contact, you got to go. And this is really where I thought Savage would come in, but she hasn't been there long enough yet. Instead, she just came in, got drunk, and pretended to be her typical whorish self. So, hanging all over Nightmare, which she said she was going to. Congratulations, Joe. Um, so, Becky gets brandished to a whole nother building on the property because Keem doesn't want to make Becky leave because Becky brings the money. I mean, Becky brings Keemstar money. So he doesn't, plus he just collected money to get her there. I don't know. They ain't showed the behind the scenes hot tub and stuff. And you know who else I feel kind of bad for because he looks so totally uncomfortable is fucking Billy the Fridge. I mean, I think Billy is genuinely a nice dude. I real oh look, Flava just got her a merch store. It comes with matches. Um, I think Billy is genuinely a nice dude. I think the skits, the fakery, is kind of getting to him a little bit too. But I think he's just going along with it. You know, he traveled a long way to get there. I think Billy is very uncomfortable right now because you know Billy just wants to sit and goof off and have fun. You know, but instead he's surrounded by a bunch of fucking drunken, and I'm gonna say it, tards, mentally stunted degenerates. Billy the Fridge is the biggest guy there. He's like, Billy weighs over 400 pounds, well over 400 pounds. And you can tell he's really, really, really uncomfortable with what's going on around him. But he's also just trying to get through the next week. I'll be shocked if he makes it through the whole next week. Yeah, 600 pounds when he got to camp. If y'all go back and watch Keemstar's camping trip when it was just him and Boogie and Wings on a show, that was fun. That was good, clean fun. Yeah, they buried Boogie alive, but you know, it's Boogie. You're proud Keem didn't strike back. Keem would have gotten smashed, Joneson. Keem didn't walk away, he ran away because Wings would have destroyed him. Keem screamed like a girl. There was no, there was no holding Wings of Redemption back. That motherfucker weighs over 400 pounds. Keemstar knew better than to put himself. And then the really funny part is Mike Green says, well, I was holding on to his shirt. No, you weren't, you lying little. Well, ain't nothing little about him. You lying fuck. You weren't hanging on to his shirt. Watch the video. But see, this is the part where it goes off script. This is where the script gets derailed. And I told you all, like I said a week or two ago, it was going to be Wings who finally just had it with the whole Becky script. And he was going to blow his top because Wings has a horrible fucking temper. Horrible. That's what I said, Lindsay. The one supporting this shit, the ones throwing money, shave her head, shave her head. She lied about sexual abuse when nobody knows who what really went down between her and RTU. How can you say somebody lied about sexual abuse and then get on your channel and talk about domestic violence? How, trust me, I am not liked over in the LCU community, and I'm okay with that. When I can leave one comment and David Jaffe, who is a multimillionaire for creating video games, the one that put red shit all over his face and said it was Tina's period blood. Hey, PF, because that's where he is in life now. He's got all kinds of fuck you money, and what he does is set on a stupid show that gets maybe, I don't know, 400 viewers. The man's a fucking genius, but he puts on a skit that Tina Dandridge ugh, sent him period blood. But I can make one comment and get under that man's skin so bad he made a whole half a show about me. That's funny. I can send one super chat and get under Keemstar's skin. Now, Keemstar has trolls of ultimate levels. I can make one comment and piss off Daniel Keem. How is that possible? Because I'm telling the fucking truth. They don't like the truth. So when Wings told the truth yesterday, is when all hell blew up. When Wings finally said, you know what? And you got Mike Green sitting there trying to say, well, Wings, it's not really scripted. It's no motherfucker, it's scripted. And Wings had it. And when he fucking finally just got on a roll, you could see Keemstar melting into the background. You could just see Keem just like shrinking. It was like, and it was funny. It was funny until the point that a woman got thrown to a table with such force. Right, PF? Then all of a sudden, it wasn't funny anymore. But these sick motherfuckers kept throwing money, You just watched a man throw his wife to a table. Do I think Wings intended to hurt his wife? No, I do not. I believe she got in front of her husband weighing in at 400 and some odd pounds, going at going for Keemstar's fucking throat, weighing in at 215. But people continued to throw money at that. They continued. I don't think Wings intended that to happen either. Yeah, she got thrown hard. And if you'll notice, before it blew up, Kelly is calling Wings, texting Wings, saying, "You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your job." In other words, Wings, don't expose the fact that this shit is fake and that you're a puppet, you're Keemstar's puppet. Don't expose that. We won't have that income coming in anymore. I don't think he did. I don't think Wings abuses his wife. I think a situation of abuse happened, but I don't think Wings just abuses his wife. He's going to get trolled the fuck out of because of it. Right, Beth. DV is not entertaining. Tell it to all these motherfucking clowns that were super chatting it. And then what do they do? Well, here's Keemstar. Well, considering everything that's gone on, you know, Wings just abused his wife on camera. I guess I ought to make Becky leave. I guess we ought to make Becky leave. That was Keemstar's way of taking away from what had just went down on his show, live on camera, downplaying it to the point, Cosmic, that, you know, let's just put this on Becky. And you know what? Everybody joined in. Tina D, the loudmouth who has no talent whatsoever, who's walking around with the ball bat. And I said it and I'll say it again. Bitch, come at me with the ball bat. I'm going to take it away from you and I'm going to crack your other fucking kneecap. Swing a ball bat next to me sitting at a table doing a podcast. I'm going to take that motherfucker away from you. I don't care that you have one leg. You're sitting down. I'm going to crack you in the other motherfucking kneecap. The fact that she's running around with a ball bat talking about what a badass she is, that right there is funny as fuck. I agree, Nancy and Corey. What happened was abuse. And her jumping up screaming, "He tripped me, he tripped me." No, Kelly, he didn't trip you. He literally threw you to a table. And there said Boogie's fat ass. He didn't flinch. Boogie did not flinch. All this shit, hey, casserole, all this shit going on around him. This is a man that agreed to have Keemstar tattoo his face. Liar. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that he regularly abuses his wife because I would have to see proof of that. I know what happened on that stream yesterday was abuse. Keem admitted that the people that own that property has already contacted him, and his actions afterwards told me everything I need to know. Well, I mean, his actions afterwards was he hugged her and said he loved her. Again, that particular action was abuse. I'm not going to say that he abuses his wife on a regular basis. I have no proof of that. And Wings is going to be trolled to his death because of what he did. And if Keemstar brings him back like he did Mike Green, who basically is considered a PDF because at 22 he got with a 15-year-old. He married her, they had kids together. There is no safety crew. There is no, Keem made it sound like, oh, we're going to have security. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have people like Boogie, who's sitting there with his phone in his hand, just totally unfazed by the fact that there's all hell breaking loose around him. I read on Twitter, Keem talked to property owners and they are cool. Well, I mean, they've got $40,000 of his money in their pocket. I'd, you know, and I don't agree with people putting in chat, somebody should call the cops, somebody should do this, somebody should call the property owners. I don't agree with doing all that. It's a lot of cameras, a lot of fat people, and no security. Keem did not hire security. By saying Keem hired security is like saying Keem hired a nurse. You got Roxy, who doesn't even know when when somebody asked what Boogie's O2 level was when he did his fake little pass out in the chair in the theater room. Roxy rattled off some astronomical number, which means Boogie would actually be dead. Well, chick, I got to be honest with you, because it was doxed, I did look the place up and I did punch in 14 days, as check in, check out. It was over $36,000 to rent that place. But it's also a religious retreat. And I bet the people that own it are sitting back going, what? They probably don't say fuck. They're probably sitting back going, what did we do? Broken chairs. Last night, Boogie flipped a table, broke a bunch of dishes that comes with the place. Oh, there's several of them that have serious daddy issues. All right. Thanks, Puss in Boots. No, chick, when you go in and you punch in that you want to rent it for 14 days and hit, it'll show you, and you hit whatever you hit, it shows you 36,400 and some odd dollars is what Keemstar paid. Not Keemstar, but they paid to rent it. Right. They did. They invited. But again, you can click off at any time. I mean, I don't have to watch this shit. You can click off at any time. But when I see certain people supporting it by throwing money, saying, do it, do it, do it, do it. and it's actually abusive. I don't know what's blocked, Corey. No, you're not blocked. I don't know if emojis are blocked. YouTube might be blocking them. I don't know. I, Here's what's really funny. Okay, so Savage gets there last night. I had done turned it off way before then. So Savage arrives. Everything's just pretty much been a clusterfuck prior to her getting there. So she decides to get her drunk on, and she gonna hang out with Nightmare, the man that she said is so sexy. And I got to be honest with you, he's probably the best looking man there if you're into like piercings and all that. He seems like a decent man, like he's kind of nice. But Savage is married, and Nightmare is either married or has a significant other. But whatever. Savage said a week ago or days ago that, "Ooh, you're going to have to watch me around Nightmare." So they were up crawling around in the middle of the night, drunker than fuck. And somebody takes the time in the middle of the night, it had to be after midnight because it has today's date on it, to create a channel called Fat Girl Wasted to come in contact or come and talk on my or come and make a comment on my post of Keem being a clown. I was like, wow, are you that bored, Savage? But you did appropriately name it Fat Girl Wasted because Savage has put on a few pounds. She's by far not obese like these other people are, but she has packed on a couple of pounds. So she spent her night crawling around in the dark with Nightmare. Wouldn't be the first time she's disrespected Joe on a live stream, would it? But hey, Joe puts up with it, so whatever. I think Joe's probably got a side piece. I would if I was married to Savage. Whatever. Like I said, Savage can never come back to this community ever after the fool she has made of herself in the LCU when it all buckles down around them. And it will, because there's just not enough talent to keep it going. I don't hear the rain. When it all falls down and Keemstar, he's got fuck you money. He doesn't care. When Keemstar says, fuck it, I'm done, Savage will never be able to come back to this community in the capacity in which she was before. And I said that from jump. And to be honest with you, that brings me pure joy. Savage has run these streets claiming to be Boyd, claiming to be Troll Avenue, claiming to be such a badass. And she has stooped to the level. Joe checked out a long time ago. I don't know. I don't really know much about their marriage. I just know that on numerous occasions, on numerous live streams, Savage has totally disrespected their marriage, and Joe's still there. So, but like I said, it really shocked me. And again, I don't think Joneson is responsible for where Deets donates her money. And if you want to go there and throw money at them when they're actually being entertaining, oh, she even threw out her cash. Listen to what she did. She's sitting there drunk last night, and everybody's done pretty much petered out from the day. And donations are coming in. Ding, 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 ding. And Savage yells out, hit up my Cash App. Hit up my Cash App. In other words, fuck Keemstar. Hit up my Cash App. Now remember, Keemstar flat out said that Becky could not have a channel. And because he said, I'm not promoting your channel. Yes, good Nunya, people can go where they want and people can talk about what they want. And what I'm talking about is when you super chat a man who's getting a nut off shaving somebody's head because he's hanging a paycheck over their head, and you super chat that, then yeah, you're kind of going to have a problem ever speaking on domestic abuse or any other kind of abuse ever again. That's what I'm saying. Of course, you can cash app wherever you want. And I definitely don't think it's Jones's problem that Deets cash app somewhere. I like Deets. I don't have a problem with Deets. She just added herself into the category of, you know, I don't ever want to hear you talk about abuse again, Deets, because you paid somebody $19.99 and cheered it on instead of sending a $19.99 cash app saying, man, this is so fucking wrong. You know, this is just wrong. Deets was right in there. Do it, or lose your job. Yes, I did super chat King. You know why I super chatted King? To tell the truth, not to root him on, to continue. You know what, Nunya, I'm glad you brought that up because I've already spoke on that, but I'll go ahead and bring that up. My super chats, which I've made two, okay? And both times they've drawn attention. Because why? Because I had something to say to Keemstar about being a dick. I never once super chatted Keemstar and said, hey, keep abusing people. It's funny. But Deets did. But Deets did. So yeah, I did. And it's okay that Deets did. But Deets just can never get on a panel again and talk about anybody else being abusive on this platform. She just can't. She ruined it. Can't talk about somebody being mean to their kids because they yelled at their kid while they're sitting behind a microphone. Can't do it because you just super chatted a man and told a woman that if she didn't shave her head, she should lose her job. That's what Deets did, Nunya. So there you go. Do I think do I think Joneson should be held responsible for no? But Joneson covers the LCU. She only covers the funny parts. She never covers the dark and dirty of the LCU. Nunya, do you realize that Keemstar owns Queens? Do you realize that he owns that show and that he gets a very large percentage of the money that comes in? You do realize that, right, Nunya? I mean, I know you're not a dumb woman. I've listened to you before. You're a very intelligent woman. So you do know that Keemstar and Mike Green own Queens. So by super chatting Queens, you're putting money in Keemstar and Mike Green's pocket, who enjoy for contempt torturing people. I don't think I have to go over this with you, good Nunya. You know this. So that comment you just made was kind of ridiculous, but whatever. I thought She super chatted Queen, speaking to Becky. I didn't realize she super chatted Keemstar. So does it make it better? Keemstar does have a humiliation fetish. He most certainly does. The more he can humiliate a human being, the harder he gets. So, like I said, if you super chat, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for super chatting Keemstar, go ahead, throw him all your fucking money. I don't give a fuck. I super chatted him to say mean shit. Not really mean, true shit. And it irked his ass both times. Yesterday, I super chatted, and the first thing he does was, I'm turning this TTS, talk to speech, off right at my super chat. As soon as it read it, as soon as TTS said it, Keem gets up and turns TTS down. Well, see, now, Corey, I watched Etika's last video and I felt like Etika spoke about Keemstar in a very, I think Etika really, really liked Keemstar. I don't hold Keemstar responsible for the whole Etika thing. I looked into that. I did my homework and I don't hold him. I mean, I know you do, but I don't. I don't think he played any role. Yes, he said something horrible. Um, and I'm sure he got super chatted for it. And then the situation ended up where Etika really did do something horrible, which was he took his own life. But I don't hold Keemstar responsible for that. No, that would be like me holding Deets responsible for Becky getting her head shaved. I don't. I just think when you super chat in the middle of a situation that, well, I mean, Etika did his fair share of humiliating people. I mean, come on, he was not an angel. Well, I mean, you can hold him responsible, Corey. I don't care. I don't. I did my homework, and I do not in any way, shape, or form hold Keemstar responsible for what happened to Etika. You know, and that's just how I feel about it. I cannot like the man. I can say what I see in him on a daily basis without putting something on him that I don't feel like he's responsible for. Sorry. I'm not a big fan of Keem. However, Becky would have ran if she wasn't in on shaving her head. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something, Remy. Becky shaved her head because she wanted so bad that money, that money, and to be under Keemstar's name. So you're really not, you're kind of looking at this the way that I never thought you would. Remy, I really, but whatever. You're obviously a Keemstar fan, and you're obviously a fan of people being humiliated because they have money hanging over their head and because they want to be a part of something so bad that they're willing to do something like that. No, my integrity is not for sale, PF. Never. And I said that from jump. I would eat out of a fucking dumpster. I would eat out of a dumpster before I allowed someone like Keemstar and his cronies to humiliate me the way. What's wrong with shaving your head? If you want to sit in front of a mirror and shave your head because that makes you feel better, then by all means, hey, Dova, do it. But when you allow a man like Keemstar and Wings of Redemption to do it for you, there's a problem. But obviously, you're probably another Keemstar simp, which I get it. I get it. You people are so mentally distorted that you think Keemstar is some sort of good guy when he's everything but. I think Keemstar is like the high school guy who kept the nerdy kids with no friends around to make himself better, except in an adult version. Right, Purple People Eater? It was. It was for pure humiliation. And people super chatted for it. That tells you what a sick fucking world we are a part of. Right. I agree. Jackass. That's who they want to be. But they don't have the talent that Jackass has. You're right. Nobody has to be there. No madness. You're right. Nobody has to be there unless they're trapped by the money. You're right. I told Becky a long time ago, go get a real fucking job. You're an intelligent woman. She went back. Nobody has to be there, and you're not being forced to watch me. Exactly. You know, I have my opinion on the situation, and my opinion is more about the crowd that supports it than it is the people that do it. Yes. Do I think Becky is pretty much a person with absolutely no self esteem whatsoever? Yeah, I do. So let's take advantage of that, okay? Let's take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of somebody who has absolutely no fucking self esteem whatsoever. Hell, let's super chat it and say, do it, do it, do it, do it. Sure. But don't get on your panel and act like you're holier than fucking thou and that you're against shit like that. That's all I'm saying. Don't get on your panel and act like, you know, that you're against misogynism and all this shit. Don't act like you're against it. And to be honest with you, if you're going to cover the low-cal universe, cover it all. Cover the dark and dirty too. Don't just cover the funny scripted shit. It was funny that Boogie compared himself to WWE. Excuse me, Boogie. Wrestlers are actually athletes, even though it's scripted. They're athletic. You're taking this so personal. People can talk about whatever they want on their own channels. I agree, Incognita. I totally agree. I'm not arguing with you. Just as I can talk about what I want to talk about on my own channel. And if I see a bunch of freaks with a bunch of abusive shit going on, I'm going to fucking talk about it. Welcome. As you can see, I'm not here to make money or friends. I just feel like if you're going to cover a universe like the LCU, that you would cover it responsibly and show the good, bad, and the ugly. That's all I'm saying. Well, bad wolf, you're one of the few. And that's okay. I don't spend my day. I know, chick. See, that's the thing about when I go live and talk about something, it's like, well, why are you talking about that? It's none of your fucking business. No, Beth, he gave up on drama alert a long time ago. He still tweets under drama alert. Yes, it's raining. And it turned chilly too. But if I cover the local universe, I'm covering all of it, not just the little cutesy parts. I'm not trying to dictate what Deets and Savage can say. They can say whatever they want. They're the laughing stocks of the universe. If they think they're going to go on their panel and act as if they don't, if and act as if they have a problem with with fucking mental and psychological abuse. That's all I'm saying. Go throw them 1999 and um get your thank you. Okay, it's my opinion. It's not everyone else's. Did I say, hey, this has to be your opinion? This has to be your opinion. You're in my chat. This must be your opinion. I'm giving my opinion. I don't give a fuck what anybody else's opinion is. But you can pay 19.99 and you can go over there and tell them how great they are. You can go over there and give them 19.99. Here, let me feed your, because Keemstar don't care about his well, he does care about his pocket, but you can go over there and feed Keem's ego a little bit, and you can totally trash a woman who is so mentally disturbed at the moment that she thinks she has to have. I did pay 19.99. I paid 19.99 to tell Keemstar what a fucking creep he is. That's not exactly what Deets did she? Incognita. I sure did. Not made any bones about it. Apparently, you like abusive people, Incognita. So carry on. That's just my opinion. You come into my chat to give your opinion, and you're welcome to. And it's funny that the two times that I've super chatted 1999 and spoke the truth, both times Keemstar had a fit. That made it worth every fucking penny. Every fucking penny. But I damn sure didn't super chat him and say, hey, keep humiliating people. Now I just got a video from Corey because Corey doesn't agree with me about the fact that I don't hold Keemstar responsible for Etika's passing. Corey, you could have just said it in my chat, girlfriend. You were just here. You're just looking for a reason to bitch at me. So, congratulations, you got one. I do not hold Daniel Keene responsible for the passing of a YouTuber named Etika. Okay? I don't. I'm sorry that you hate me for that today, Corey. I'm sure you'll hate somebody later, somebody else later. You don't even have to agree with my opinion. I don't care that you don't agree with my opinion. My opinion is Deet super chatted to watch something horrible take place. Thank you, PF. Thank you. Right. Etika's own mother doesn't hold Keemstar responsible. I watched Etika's last video and he spoke very highly of Keemstar. Therefore, you're not going to try to convince me that Keemstar played a role. Keemstar was a YouTuber going back and forth with Etika. Etika was going back and forth with Keemstar. They talked behind the scenes and shit. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lay something on somebody that doesn't belong to them. It's snowing, Captain Avi. Ooh, it got chilly here, but not snowing. And I'm sorry that my opinion of what Deet's super chat represented hurts some feelings. It's just my opinion. It is what it is. Have fun, cats. Man, I wish I was shopping till I dropped. I'm sure my opinion about what Deet super chatted doesn't really move a hair on her ass. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain Obby. I'm ready for spring. I then got me some new fat clothes. I'm ready for spring. No, I don't know. I don't think Incognita is Nunya. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't care. Incognita is definitely entitled to their opinion, just as I am. I mean, and again, my opinion is Deet super chatted to watch a woman be humiliated. I mean, you can't explain it any other way. Go look at Jones's community post. Oh, Ellie thinks you're Nunya. Yeah, I don't know all you guys past and stuff incognito. I don't know. I mean, I know of Ellie. I know of Nunya. I've seen you in chats. I don't know. And again, I don't have a problem with Deets. I don't have a problem with Joneson. I don't have a problem with anybody that supports that shit. Do what you want. But don't come on here and act like, you have some kind of moral standard when you're super chatting to watch a woman be totally humiliated. I mean, come on. That's all I'm saying. And I can say that. And Deets may still get on live streams and call out what she thinks is um unacceptable behavior. It just and to me, it won't be taken seriously anymore. I'm sorry, but I lost a little respect for Deets. Doesn't mean she can't. If you support that shit, it speaks to your character, not King's. Yeah. And you still got Savage running around saying that Bombshell was her stalker. Savage, stop lying. Whether you like Bombshell or not, the way it unfolded was not Bomb stalking you. You jumped on a bandwagon of people like Jenny Jin Jin and them without even knowing who Bombshell was, and you started going for her neck. So when she returned the favor with words, you returned the favor with going real life, going to her home. Who fucking stalked who? Savage, stop lying. Just don't lie about it, Savage. There's too many people out here that know the real truth. Yeah, she was going to take her bullhorn to fat camp. I don't think she wanted to pay to pack it, but hell, according to her yesterday, she didn't even have the money to Uber from the airport to the ranch, which is about 70 miles or more. She was begging Tina Dandridge, the one she went over there and basically stole her thunder to come and get her at the airport. But just don't lie about it, Savage. I'll never forget when she first got up there in front of Keemstar and said, Keemstar, this woman is my stalker and we've been to court. No, you haven't. You're a damn lie. You and Bombshell have never been to court over YouTube. You stuck your nose in where it didn't belong on a court hearing. She's my stalker. She follows me everywhere. No, Savage, bitch, you went to her house. Oh, Ellie done figure something out. And that's all I'm saying is don't lie about it. Get up there and say, all right, Keemstar, I come from the drama community and and don't lie and say you're Boyd in Troll Avenue. Because I trolled your dick so hard the other day, Savage, that you blocked me in a chat where I have a gifted membership. And I didn't even really say anything that bad. Okay, whatever. But I saw it all unfold, and it wasn't Bombshell stalking Savage. It was the other way around. So Savage getting up there saying, you know, that's my stalker. Savage even screamed out in a live stream one day. If you say her name, I'll sue every one of you motherfuckers. Keemstar, Savage is the one you better keep your fucking eye on. Because again, it wouldn't be the first time you ended up in a courtroom over YouTube, would it? All public record. But Savage should have just got up there and told the truth. He's looking for locales. Savage should have got up there and said, I'm such a locale that I let words on the internet get under my skin and I wanted to pretend like I'm a badass. So I drove to Georgia with my husband and two of my friends and hung out the top of a sunroof with the bullhorn screaming at another YouTuber. That's what you should have done. That's a true locale. Right, PF. That's what you should have done. But you had to know getting up there and lying to Keemstar that people were going to call it out. That ain't the way it went down. I mean, you were a true locale when you did that, Savage. You would have been Keemstar's kind of person. The only reason you got the job you got is because Mike Green wanted to torment the fuck out of Tina Dandridge. And now you two are acting like you're best fucking buds. But here's the thing with Savage and Tina. They both got so much shit on each other, neither one of them want it released. Savage flat out played a video knowing that Tina's son's criminal record was going to be talked about in it, and then turned around and said the person that supplied her the video pieced it together. No, That part wasn't pieced together. That was Tina Dandridge on a private call over at Steve Billings' community, or Isaac's. I think it was Steve's. That was her on a private call who got recorded talking about her son's activities and also got caught telling everybody in that community over there that Keemstar is fake, phony, and scripted, and all of it's just bullshit drama, just made up drama. But again, it is for the most part. I mean, Savage has flipped through her pages and shown where Roxy has copied and pasted what Mike has told him to talk about. But when it goes off the script, is when it becomes, I gotta be honest with you, kind of fascinating that people's brains really work like this. What, again, I've said it from jump. My integrity, you can't put, hey Sarah, welcome. You can't put a price tag on my integrity. And the fact that some people do, yeah, you're going to get talked about. You're going to get talked about. I felt bad for Keem in 2018 because he was covering a teenager Twitch gamer streamer drama on a fully grown man already. How old is he now? Keem is pushing, Keem is, I don't know, he's 25 years older than his girlfriend or his fiance. I don't even know why they call each other fiance. He's never going to marry her. He made that clear. He's never going to legally marry her because, well, then Keem has to split half his money when it falls apart, and he ain't stupid. And I don't really even have a big beef with Keem's girlfriend. She tries to act like a badass, but you know what? I want to give a shout out to Glammy Lammy. This woman has no fucking talent. For whatever reason, Keemstar has taken a liking to her. She's been moved from every show he has. She has no talent whatsoever. But when Becky got her head shaved the other night, while everybody else was razzing her and going at her over it, you know who came and comforted Becky? And she said, as a human being to a human being. That's what she did. Because everybody else is still laughing and razzing Becky over it, still calling her all the names they've always called her. All the super chats are still coming in. Pig, 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 pig. Um, all the things they do over there. But it was Glammy Lammy who came out and sat with Becky and said, thank you, go getter. As a human being to a human being. And Glammy even got razzed for it. She got razzed for being sympathetic to Becky. She got razzed for it. But I really appreciated that. I thought, wow, that's a real moment there. That is Glammy Lammy, who would do anything to be in that universe. And I don't think shaving her head would be part of it. So maybe not anything. But she knows what it's like to want to be a part of that so bad that she actually had a little bit of sympathy for Becky and went and sat with her. Thank you, go get her. Oh, there's plenty of clips there. All you got to do is follow the clip channels. Or you can watch them. I do. I don't, like I said, I get bored and turn it off and miss some things, and then I have to catch up with the clip channels the next day because you can only watch so many hours of people just being total degenerates. I know she's getting married there. I got to laugh at her for that one. I mean, who officiated your marriage? Daniel Keemstar. Daniel Keem. Who attended? About 8,000 pounds worth of people. And the funny thing is, the Savage telling Glammy, and I got that clipped. It's on my thing. It's on my community post. Savage had the nerve to tell Glammy, who weighs about a buck 05, uh, Glammy, you need to quit wearing them crop tops, girl. You're too old for that. But just days before that, Savage was showing her tits dry humping a mic while groaning, oh, oh, nightmare, oh, Jeffy. But you want to tell a bitch to quit wearing a crop top? Okay. Hello, sassy nerd girl. Hello, Secure. Secure, if you sub up to them, you all will recognize who that is. I don't want to call her out because I don't know if she wants you to recognize who she is. But if you sub up to her, she covers it. She she puts clips in. I don't know if she clips only the good stuff and not the evil, horrible, humiliating stuff. I don't know, but savage to tell a bitch to quit wearing a belly shirt when you behave the way you do on a stream. The only way you make money on your stream, savage, is being a whore. So you going around calling everybody a whore? This is what Savage does. She did it last night. She hadn't been there 10 minutes. Shut up! Shut up! Telling all these hosts. I know, Lacey. They're a bunch of degenerates, and Savage wants to be a part of it, which is fine. Go ahead. But when it falls apart, don't think for 1 minute, Savage, you're going to come back to this community and just pick up where you left off. Because it won't happen. You will be. I got gifted a membership in Savage's uh, in the Milker channel that Savage is on. She won't even let me chat in there. I can't even go in there and say good morning or good afternoon. I'm blocked immediately. I must be getting under your skin, bitch. So if you were part of Troll Avenue, you sucked at that too then. But you can't bring in any super chats unless you and Psycho Mom are up there flashing tits. Roxy just acts like a raging fucking idiot who takes both of your all's abuse. She ain't got an ounce of fucking talent. Savage is very thin skinned. Very thin skinned. Yeah, Misty, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But every Keemstar going, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. He's sitting there with his head hung because he's already been called out as a fake. And as long as other people were calling it fake, Keemstar didn't care. But when his partner called it fake, that's when it bothered Keemstar. And he's sitting there all sad with his head hung low. Yeah, man. Yeah, I just backed away, man. No, you ran like a bitch. You ran like a bitch, Keemstar, is what you did. Because you could have cut the camera. You could have told Mike, put the camera down. And you could have attempted to whoop Wings' ass. But we know that couldn't have happened. So. Oh, I said the other day. There's Bridget. Bridget goes over there and trolls the chats too. She doesn't get blocked like I do, though. Keemstar can't handle people not worshiping him, which speaks volumes on who he really is. I bet Keemstar was probably oh, Savage and the brown liquor. Yeah. Well, my whole thing was when Savage went there, hide your husbands, hide the liquor, because Savage has arrived. And within 10 minutes of being there, she's sitting on a stream screaming, hit up my Cash App. And if there's one thing Keemstar's not going to do, is allow you to call out your Cash App. Hello, Rad Story. But Savage did it. MFW, I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but she's just going to drink herself in the ground. I mean, that's just, I hate it for her, but it's what's going to happen. It's sad to know that somebody with the talent that Katie has, because Katie can actually be entertaining, or at one point in her YouTube career, she was in fact entertaining. But there again, you have another person that has absolutely no fucking self esteem. Not an ounce. Oh, yeah, they'll get on here and talk like they do. Right, PF? I don't want to see anybody. I don't care how I feel about you. I don't want to see anybody, their life be in that shape. I mean, there's people on here that I would never associate with in my real life. Yeah, she's back on here, Lacey. I mean, she's back on here. I'm not sure what her channel's called, because that's not only none of it scripted like it used to be back in the drama live days. Oh, I bet it is, PF. But that's just a sad situation over there. That's just a very sad situation. And I don't care. Like I said, there's people on here that I would never, ever want to associate with in my real life. But I don't wish that on nobody on this platform. And you'll never find a clip of me doing it. You'll never find a clip of me saying, go off yourself, or I hope your family gets cancer, or that just never happened, because I don't feel like that. That's not the way my heart works. And it doesn't matter if you're my least favorite person on this platform. You'll just never hear it, because I don't think like that. Hang on, you lost your joint. Oh, that's not good, Beth. Find it. Was it lit? Corey, I invited you to my panel one day to straighten things out, and you refused. And if you want to debate me on the Keemstar Etika thing, no, because you're not going to change my mind. I don't hold Daniel Keem responsible for what happened to Etika. It's just not going to change my mind. I watched your videos about it when it happened, and I did my own homework, and I'm sorry, Corey. I'm just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. I can dislike a motherfucker. I don't even really dislike Keemstar. To me, it's fascinating the way that people want to be a part of him so much that they'll put themselves in such humiliating situations. I mean, I'm fascinated with it. Real life issues, Corey. Are you going to be decent, or are you going to get up here and? I mean, it's not going to happen today because I'm going to. Right, chick. It's just I'm not going to argue the whole Daniel Keem and Etika thing. I'm not going to do it because, like I said, I heard about it. I went and I looked into it, and I'm not. Hey, Lisa 59. I'm sorry that you're dealing with health issues. Speaking, and I'm not laughing. I didn't mean to chuckle there. I'm chuckling because somebody that I used to hang out with years ago, and I haven't seen him since I've been back in Indiana. He reached out to me the other day. He finally got my phone number from somebody, and he's like, "Hey, girl, how's it going?" I was like, "Well, it's going." He goes, "Man, I finally got somebody to give me your phone number." And because I still have my Florida number. Okay, Corey. But and he goes, "Man, I finally got your number. So and so gave it to me, and they said that you got this and this and this, and listed off this whole list of medical problems that I hope I don't have." I mean, I really hope I don't have these medical problems that this friend of mine that I haven't seen in years listed off. I was like, well, I don't block you too, Corey. I don't block Corey because me and Corey, we've gone back and forth, but I think she deserves to have an opinion as anybody else does. There's things Corey says I agree with, and there's things Corey says that I don't agree with. It is what it fucking is. So, Ray, I don't know why you felt the need to come up in here and announce that. Everybody knows that Nancy Spungen is Corey. I mean, I don't get it. But again, I just thought I'd come live and touch base on what happened in the incel, insecure, mentally incompetent, fake, scripted, entertaining, low cal universe. Will somebody get that? All right, Ray, you can't come in here and I'll just ban you. I think I got it. You can't come in here and dox. Did I get the right one, Corey? Did I get the right one, Corey? I'm a miserable kind of funny. But see, here's what you don't get. I'm not miserable. I'm not a miserable person. Did my life turn out the way I thought it was going to? Absolutely fucking not. But I by far am not a miserable person, Aislinn or Aslin or whatever your name is. I really am not. If you knew me behind the scenes, Well, I'm really no different behind the scenes. Gotta be honest. Let's not, I don't want to sit here and call people out and then be a big fat liar up here. I'm be big and fat, but I don't need to be a liar. I'm not. Ashlyn. Oh, okay. Wow, it doesn't look like that at all. Thank you, PF. Thank you, Rad Story. But I'm really not a miserable person. Quick glance around those sitting on the couches. Are you really surprised any one of them would subject themselves to that treatment? It's the first time in their lives they felt like somebody. I know, side eye. I get that. I get that. But don't you think it's fascinating that people have such low self-esteem? Oh, you meant in a good way. Oh. I'm sorry, Ashlyn. I've never been called miserable and considered it a good thing, but okay. Don't report me, Corey. I didn't do nothing. I got rid of it, I think. Do not report me, Corey. I did not do nothing. I did not dox you, and I think I got rid of what you told me to. If I didn't, it's because I don't see it. They have me blocked. Corey, don't report me. Dag. I've only been reported one time on this platform, and it was Diane, and she took it back. Oh, okay. You too, chick. Have a good day. I'm more fascinated on those who pretend to have their shit together who show up on that couch. Ain't that the truth? Corey doxes all the time. Well, she's not doxed in my chat. I can only control my chat. And Corey's been doxed out the ass too, so it is what it is. But again, I just came on to give my rundown of the insanity. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it is funny. Some of it, I mean, you wouldn't watch it if none of it was funny. If it was just all miserable shit. But I have to say, yesterday was probably the icing on the cake when it comes to King can handle being called fake by the trolls and the people that throw him money and all that. But when Wings did it, King melted. He literally sat on that couch, that green patio furniture couch steps, wherever they were sitting. I don't remember now. And he just melted. You could just see him just melting. Well, Corey's been doxxed. Corey's had the cops called on him. You have a good week too, Ashlyn. We had somebody in the United States call the cops on Corey in Canada over words on the internet. So I guess people have different boundaries. I guess, I mean, side eye, there's really no other way to explain it. But it's really sad because I can't help it. I kind of took a liking to Becky because of her quirky little comebacks. No, I can't handle Tina Dandridge. Tina D just sits there and screams constantly about what a legend she is and how she made it her way and how she has an open callus on her amputated leg as if anybody caused that other than her or some medical condition she has that won't close the callus. I don't know. Tina fell the other night and dented her new leg. She got a brand new leg. Those things aren't cheap. I'm sure insurance paid for it, or at least the majority of it. Either way, it doesn't matter. She could have paid for it. I don't know. She makes good money under Keemstar. But and they blame Becky. They blame Becky. Keemstar himself blamed Becky because yesterday it was, let's take all the focus off the fact that I'm a fraud. Let's take all the focus over the fact that my partner, Wings, just called me out for being a fraud. And the fact that he just abused his wife by slamming her on a table. Let's take all the focus away from that and let's put it on Becky. I have a love-hate relationship with Corey. I think most do. I never know whether Corey likes me or not either. She just gave me a video. It popped up on my recommendation. But here's the thing. I don't feel the need to, every time Corey talks about me, to respond to it. I don't hate Corey. Um, Corey has said things that were true and were spot on. Corey and I just have a different way of doing things, you know? I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Keemstar. I don't hate Deets. I don't hate Joneson. I don't hate none of these motherfuckers. You're right, PF. You have managed. Because, PF, you're just a cool chatter. And you don't show up very often. But when you do, you're just, you're a good, decent person. You can tell by your comments. You're a good, decent person. I mean, you come from the drama community. I'm sure at some point you got wrapped up into some shit, but you're just a good, decent person. You can tell. Corey is awesome. See? Rad Story thinks Corey's awesome. I think she's being sarcastic. She put a little smiley face there, but whatever. I just don't hate Corey. Corey has said things that I would never say on this platform. Laura has said things that I would never say on this platform. But it don't mean I hate them. Right. I don't even know people enough on the internet. I mean, who hates? I can't, God knows me, Randy, and Wendy, we've gone round and round before, but I don't hate them. If you actually hate somebody on the internet, that's a you problem, not a them problem. If you actually have hate in your heart for somebody that you've never met, that's a you problem. You need to look into that. You probably need therapy because hate is an emotion. And in order to have an emotion, you have to care. Oh, I know, Snake. I know. And when I say care, it's not that you don't care about other human beings, but you have to be emotionally invested in somebody to hate them. You can hate their actions, you can hate their words, but do you really hate them? I agree, Side Eye. I totally agree. It could have been very entertaining if they would have just done like a Big Brother situation. You know, just let the cameras roll. Everybody's going about their business. And then if they wanted to turn it into something, I mean, my God, Dolly Vision has made a fucking fortune off of voting people off a pretend island. You purchase turtle eggs to vote people off of a make-believe island. If they would have done something like that, I think that would have been cool as hell. Minus the destroying of people's personal properties. Because I'm sorry, but I don't care if you're a rock star and your band goes into a hotel and tears the room to shreds. Like, we've all heard those stories. You're an idiot. If you're tearing up somebody else's property that they worked hard for to obtain and maintain, and you're tearing it up, you just have no regard for their property. You're an idiot. I mean, that's my opinion. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but that's my opinion. If you tear up anything that doesn't belong to you, it you're an idiot. That's my opinion. And what they've done to that property over there. I mean, Keemstar bought an old broken down car, had it towed there. They busted out all the windows, tail lights, everything, glass everywhere in the grass that there's signs posted, do not drive on the grass. They actually pushed it into the lake. They towed it back out, but they have broken furniture, they have broken dishes. I can only imagine the fucking smell in there. Um, I think the only thing they haven't done is smoked inside of it. Right. I have many that I simply have zero respect for, but hate, no, I cannot waste my energy. Exactly, PF. I'm pinning that. I know how to pin it. I just hit a button and I'm still on stream. Oh, 111 in here, 111. That's a lucky number. I'm afraid to rub it though, because something bad might happen. I mean, like my stream might go down, which is going to go down anyways, because I'm going to get off here because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I still have to thaw something out for Sunday dinner. But I just thought I would touch base on the fuckery. And yes, I do have an opinion. Jones and put it on her community post. Therefore, you can have an opinion. It was made in public. Tina banging that baseball bat on the table. I done told you. A bitch gonna sit there and bang a bat right next to me. I'm gonna take it away from you, and I'm gonna take out your other kneecap. I'm not gonna be threatened with a baseball bat. It's not gonna happen. Oh, PF's going on a cruise. And just think, I'm sitting here stressing over whether to take a long weekend to Florida because I don't like to spend money on myself. Because, Maggie might need it. My son might need it. Somebody might need it other than me. Hell, I might have to send a true but hateful super chat to Keemstar. But have fun on your cruise, PF, really, for real. I know, eat the cake. You only live once. I just want to go. It's still cool and rainy here, and I just want to go and sit in the sun. And I don't have to do the bar hopping and all that shit. I'm way beyond all that. I'm way beyond all that shit. I don't need to do all that. You have a great Sunday too, Rad Story. Actually, all of you have a great Sunday. And trust me when I say I'm really not bothered by the whole Keemstar thing. There are things going on that bothers me, but it bothers me because I wish people had more self-esteem. It bothers me because personal property is getting destroyed. It bothers me because abuse is taking place. But I really don't lay awake at night like the troll account that created theirself after midnight last night came to say to me. Thank you, Snacks, for the super sticker. But it doesn't even bother me that Dietz left that comment. I just find it really ironic coming from Dietz. I'm sorry, I did. Like it or not. Well, I got to lay something out for supper. I got to thaw it. It's either going to be chicken or ribs. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to go dig in the freezer. I'll probably go live one day in a week or so and let you know what I decided, chicken or ribs. But you guys have a great day. And if you're going through something, man, just remember there's a light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of the outcome. There's a light at the end of the. Thank you, Rad Story. But if you're going through something, just remember that you are enough. You are enough. I had a niece that was kind of taken away from us when she was at a very young age, and she reached out to me um, the other night. I hadn't heard from her in years. She's a grown woman. She has grandkids. Um, Out of the blue, she reached out to me on Messenger on Facebook, and she's really going through something. And I told her, you know what? You are enough. From your head to your toes, you are enough. And I wish people really valued themselves. You don't have to be conceited, but you have to have some kind of self value in order to present yourself to a really cruel, fucked up world at times. But be good, behave, and I will see you guys around the tubes. Have a great day, guys.